Good morning. Today is Thursday, August 17th, and this is day 17 of the Go Live Every Day on Facebook challenge. And you know what? I just realized I didn't, I did. I'm sorry. I didn't turn off my phone to make sure it didn't ring. Ha! Okay, so here's what we're talking about. We've been talking about leadership and traits of leadership, and specifically, hello Yemi, and specifically the emotional intelligence traits that support leadership. So today we're going to talk about an interpersonal component of emotional intelligence, and the specifics of this component is empathy. The timing is perfect. Here we are talking about Charlottesville, and the whole nation feels totally at odds with each other, right? The whole nation feels that, the people that feel they're white, they created this country, they're not going to be minimized, they're not going to be displaced, and then there are black people and white people and minorities yelling and screaming, "We matter, we're alive, you cannot obliterate us." I have seen some extremely disturbing footage. I saw an interview of a Colombian woman on, the Colombian woman is an interviewer with a Latino TV station, and she went into a Klan area, and she was actually the first person of color allowed into this Klan camp. And this Klan member was telling her, "But look at you and look at me and see how I am superior to you." And I thought that was amazing. And people are talking about bringing down Confederate statutes, and people don't understand these statutes were built during the Jim Crow era because white people were feeling afraid of Jim Crow laws, and so they erected these statutes to make sure that people understood this is their land. And in the meantime, this entire country was built on the backs of slaves. And so we can't go back in the past and change that, but we can begin to empathize and see the perspective of the other person and how the systems have been built to not support minorities in this country. If you are not a white male, basically nothing supports you. There's nothing in the system that supports. So how do we begin to cultivate an atmosphere of empathy? First, we cannot start with emotion, right? We enter into an understanding of the other person and the other person hearing what the other person is saying. So seeing the other person as a legit human being is critical. Let me define empathy for you. Empathy is the ability to be aware of, to understand, and to appreciate the feelings and thoughts of others. Empathy is tuning in, being sensitive to what, how, and why people feel and think the way they do. Being empathic means being able to emotionally read other people. Empathetic people care about others and show interest in and concern for them. So what does this translate into? This means that if I already have an agenda, I cannot hear what you're saying. Right? So if I get to work and there's a report that was due by you and you didn't do the report, and I start yelling at you and saying I can't depend on you, then I have not entered into empathy with you. If I say, "What's going on? I have this goal of making this happen and you weren't able to meet that deadline. This doesn't sound like you. What exactly is going on?" Then in that case, I can hear you. I can engage with you. I can be empathetic with you. And so this thing of empathy, it is a key for leadership. You cannot carry people across the finish line unless you relate with them. You cannot do it. It is not about your agenda. There is not only one right way in everything that we do. So I hope this little blurb on empathy was effective and insightful to you. I hope that you will leave a comment. I hope that you will share this video. And I hope that you'll join me again tomorrow. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.